Hey y'all, welcome back to Rose, Rock, Sweets, and Soil. This is the podcast that helps us navigate life's bumps, detours, and breakthroughs with faith and wisdom. I'm your host, Natasha Elaine, and this is episode 6 of the Friends After 40 series. Today, we are stepping beyond the books, okay? A college brotherhood of faith, loyalty, and legacy. We have 3 brothers in Christ in the studio, y'all. Anthony Dixon, Morrell Miles, and Patrick M. Gill. These 3 met on campus decades ago, and they're here to share how their bond has held through 30 years across new cities, careers, and seasons. We're going to walk through our RRWS framework, and man, we're going to look at the themes of alignment from Amos. We're going to look at loving correction from Matthew, and you know we got to run up in Proverbs and get those irons sharpened. But first, let's get into a bop with Mission, y'all. Mission is the Kingdom Artist of the Week. High energy, hope-filled Christian hip-hop that fits brotherhood, legacy, and faith. This song perfectly sets the tone for this wildly fun and super fruitful interview with brothers who prove that friendship, faith, and accountability can last well beyond 40. Okay, no shade, no shade. But yo, let's get into it because it's a bop. I am sitting here with 3 brothers in Christ. Okay, I have Anthony Dixon, I have Morrell Miles, and I have Patrick M. Gill. Okay,
yes,
all right,
yes.
the M is in place. All right, these are guys who met on campus 30 years ago.
About
Graham
You said that. You said that.
They formed.
Grambling State University.
Okay, shut up.
Graham fam.
So they stood strong now, y'all. Beyond the books, beyond the athletics, beyond the graduation, and they've been holding it down. Okay.
Yeah.
We are here to cover, because this is the Friends After 40 series, okay? So everybody's over 40, clearly. Listen, we are here to uncover, like, one, what drew you all together, okay? Like how y'all met in college, what kept y'all connected throughout the years, and what your legacy is going to be. Not just as friends, but as friends in Christ as well. And, like, what are you doing with the younger generation? So welcome to Rose, Rock, Sweets, and Soil.
Like
I'm
that
so
title.
happy to have
Thanks
you.
for having
Yes.
us.
Gang, gang.
Appreciate it.
Rose Rock,
We here.
Yes, you are. So we go through the framework. It's pretty simple. RRWS. It's the parable of the sower. Luke. Some people go straight to Mark.
Mark.
But
He picked that up.
I know Jesus.
He know the four gospels. He know the four gospels at least.
Don't
we're going to go through the framework, y'all. So the R is the road. That's where we get the seed. That's where we get the word of God. And sometimes we do get the word, and sometimes we just get parents that don't know anything about the word, so we get a different kind of road, and that's okay, because we eventually get there at some point, right? And then we all have the rocks. The rocks are like the obstacles. Some people like to be like, that's the devil. You know, it's not always the devil. Sometimes
always.
it's just the obstacle.
Could be the flesh.
And it could be the flesh. It could be you. And what happens when the weapon is you?
Come on.
Okay,
Right
so,
on.
so it's like you get the rocks, and then once you kick the rocks over the road, you still might end up entangled in the weeds.
Come on now.
And so we slice the weeds, we get the weeds out the way, and then hopefully we get into the really good soil where God can kind of cultivate what it is that He wanted us to be and do in the first place.
Right on.
All right, so
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
where we're going. So we're going to rewind it all the way back to Grambling. Right?
Got it.
30 years ago. Chapter 3, Amos says that we need to walk in agreement. He says some other things, but we're going to stop with that because that's the most significant thing in terms of this topic. Okay. So what moment or experience was shared with you guys that helped to build that foundation 30 years ago? What happened beyond athletics?
I had an ex in college that introduced me to Patrick and a guy named Tremel. Tremel was one of my drum mentors.
Okay.
And I wanted to, be in that crew because that was really the only crew of musicians that was on the level that I was trying to be on. I mean, like, they had some other cats down there. I'm not crapping on nobody. Don't think it was some other cats there. It was some other cats down there. Shepherds and all them. Look, they was crushed. Shepherds was crushed. I just didn't know him.
Yeah.
I had to meet Tremel to meet him. So
it's a band outside of the actual band. It was like a private band.
Yeah,
we had
R&B.
Give the context.
R&B type of jazz band. So it's like I saw them and was like, yo, I'm trying to get around them. That's the sound that I want to hear. So she ended up knowing them already and introduced me to them. And then I met Tremel and I met Pat. unpack. And then over time, Morrell came, and so we all became crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, was there an actual band? Like, did you
Yeah.
guys perform?
Yeah.
We
Still performing now?
No, we can though, but
Different ways. So, but the explanation is funny because the band was a thing before I got there. Now, I came to Grambling in graduate school.
Oh, okay.
So they were still underground.
Yeah.
Ladies, he has a master's. He has a master's, just so y'all know.
Two actually, but
Put it out, bro, with the actual.
with the voice change.
But the band was doing the band thing, right? It was playing with Erica Badu. Whoever came to campus, they was crushing. So I came with a different kind of toolbox, a different talent. I was a comedian at the time. And so I would be on the stage bringing in whatever. So the band is playing, I'm with them. So it's kind of like I was an MC.
He's the host.
Yeah, he was the
Host for everything. So I'm bringing all the shows. And so the shows coming through, the band's playing. So it was like a give and take.
Okay.
It was an amazing marriage.
I was playing percussion. They man Tremel was playing drums. That's where I went.
And so we went to, Tremel and I grew up together, but he and I grew up together since second grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tremel, him and I
Okay,
grew up
I
together.
have to ask, where's Tremel?
So in South Carolina.
We could have zoomed him in.
We could have. We could.
Tremel.
LB. So we did Black Dynasty, which was a modeling
Modeling
crew,
crew.
which his ex-girlfriend was.
Because
So,
he's the model. Oh, she was the model.
She was
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So,
We went too far back.
I'm
so we put all that together.
Very modelesque. Very modelesque.
Pat, come with it. Come on, Pat.
I'm sorry.
So we put it all together. We would have the modeling, we would have the band, we would have him hosting it. We would do that everywhere.
Wow.
Everywhere.
And so that just really brought us together.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So, what were the beliefs and values, though, that kind of cemented everything? So, we know how y'all met. It was the band, it was the music, it was the comedic
There you go.
value.
There you go.
But what was the actual belief system that was like, okay, yeah, that's my dude right there?
It was kind of that thing we recognize the gifts and how you use your gifts, right? Because you can abuse the gift or you can use the gift. Amen? So we chose to use that gift.
Hallelujah.
So, but to play but to be serious about it is that it's hard to find people with commonalities.
Wow.
And so the commonalities that we had, we found that was actually in faith, but in kind of a situation of faith and friendship.
I love it.
And so when you walk certain roads, people just
So
don't
happy to
fit.
hear this. Okay.
You know, the walk that you have.
Yeah.
And so the walk that we were on happened to be one where it kind of elevated us. So you kind of see where the separation happened. So like stones kind of rock together, we did that.
All right. And speaking of rocks, the rocks are going to come. All right.
yeah.
So we already know it's going to be obstacles. It's going to be.
I like that segue, how you did that.
Yeah. That was real smooth.
You get
Real smooth. It was like she been listening to like
If you haven't subscribed yet, you better subscribe. You hear me? Click the button.
Why did you know that
She
one?
even slid the paper while she was singing.
Give it to him.
So, the rock show, what were the unexpected situations that occurred within this group that tried to break the bond? What happened? And don't say nothing happened, y'all. Just,
Yes, all the time.
peaches and cream the whole
always
time.
something.
But was there any one thing or were there multiple things? New jobs even, just moving, just anything.
I think it's a natural matriculation of life.
Yeah.
After graduation, did you leave first or did you leave first?
I think he left first.
Yeah. I went to Hampton, Virginia first for 5 years.
Okay.
And then I moved here.
So then I went to Dallas.
Okay.
Okay, amen. And so the prodigal son, I left. If you think about like New Edition, and I'm Bobby Brown, right?
Yeah.
It's that thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's seriously, that's kind of how life took me and Whitney.
I almost said I rebuked that, but I like Bobby.
Yeah, it was a path.
Yeah.
And that was the road. So distance happened, you know what I mean? So I know for me, per se, I went, the wrong way. And a lot of life happened in that space. And, it was actually 2 times Pat had called me and was like, bro, you doing too much. First call was to come to Grambling. I graduated from South Carolina State undergrad. Then I went back home, which is in Greenville, South Carolina. I went back to the home hood.
Okay.
Doing hood things. He was like, bro, I heard about you. How you hear about me 1,100 miles away? It was that bad.
Streets be talking.
'Cause I was in them. You know what I mean? And so one of the rocks was me not growing. That makes sense? And so I moved and went back to what I thought I knew, which wasn't right. And so we had distance a lot of times. So me going to Dallas and coming back up here because they were here made it a better space for me.
And we have challenges. We still have challenges because we all got different personalities, different characteristics that we go with. So one of us might say, hey, meet me here at a certain time, and then don't show up. You know what I mean?
That's not
Oh, now we're doing the breastplate of righteousness on, so when fiery darts come, you know you know what thorn is in his side right now.
They might say something and don't show up and leave you out there to dry. You have to make a decision in your mind that at the end of the day, that's my dog.
Okay.
So no matter what we go through, we just gonna go through it.
And that's what I was going to say. So there is a silent struggle sometimes, but you just decide not to confront it because it's not that serious.
It's not that it won't be confronted.
No, we
I'm gonna
confront
It don't be confronted.
Yeah, we're gonna confront it. I'm gonna
So
tell them.
there's no silent struggles going on. There's nothing that I should have said that I didn't say because I want to say
Because
it.
our foundation is so strong.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
You know what I'm saying?
We understand.
We understand that anything that we say to each other is coming from love.
That's the big part.
And it's iron sharp as iron. So if you really can't let your boy tell you what you're outside of your space to bring you back in, that's not a real good friend. Because friendship is essential to the soul.
Come on, man.
I can't turn him into anyone else. I know who he is.
Okay.
And he's going to demonstrate that just like he knows who I am. So he knows when I give him something like that, again, I'm coming out of love, but I'm going to still give it to him.
So are there any measures of carefulness outside of this?
Buddy.
Hey, yeah.
Give it to him. Hey, yo.
We all straight on the road. We all riding straight now.
So there's
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
listen, I didn't even ask a question. I don't know where that
We here. We up and down.
Yeah, Jesus.
Okay, so
Borderline.
Matthew 18:15 directs us to address our brothers in privacy, right? And so I like what you said. You called him. He reached out to you, and everything was taken care of. So it wasn't like the whole world knew
absolutely
anything about what was going on. Is that like a typical way that we handle like our measures of carefulness within this group?
Yeah.
I think men in general handle stuff like that. I think we always we have enough strength and love for each other that we can come either within the group in a group setting of this group or just one-on-one. I could call them and be like, dog, that wasn't cool. Like, what are you talking about? Why you even do this and that, whatever? And the first thing to come out, I mean, it's not typically too much back and forth. Okay. It's like my bad.
My bad.
I mean, this is not whatever.
But we do follow the process, like you were about to say. You know, if we don't agree, we'll be like, well, dog, holla at him because he ain't really listening. And then we'll come together. We might go out somewhere and eat and have dinner, bring it up, and then we sit down and commune that way.
Come on, man.
Appreciate that. I like that.
Absolutely.
One thing you said, Anthony, as men, is there a difference how women handle that? I just wanted to touch on it.
This is not the topic. This is
Don't put us in no trouble out there.
not the topic of discussion right now. It's a difference, and all of us can kind of attest to this. It's a difference when you're speaking to your girls and when you're speaking to your man.
Okay.
It's different.
There's not a lot of emotions attached in ours. You know what I mean? It's more of a rationale. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't appropriate for the time. What you did was too far. And then it's kind of like, I understand what you're saying. So there's no emotions really attached to kind of
For you,
conversation. Right,
because
at
there
all.
are a lot of men that are quite emotional.
I hear that.
Let's be fair.
Okay.
Well, see, that's one thing of foundation.
Okay.
I think if there was somebody in our group that was outside of how we handle and our personalities, that wouldn't
They wouldn't fit in the group.
You can't sit with us, sir.
Yeah.
See that.
You got one chance, and then we like delete your phone.
What? Who's
Goodbye.
this?
Get your man. That's your man. That's your man. Who made that choice? You on detention. You brought him? You brought him? That's your...
It's funny that you say that because I tend to think of weeds and distractions as people a lot of times. Even though weeds can typically be just like your belief system or just myths or things that you believe erroneously or just like the devil on your shoulder telling you something that is just not true. But I definitely feel like a lot of people are weeds. What are some of the distractions overall that you guys see trying to choke out the friendship? Because you know they're haters. I mean, so we got to get real.
Right. I don't see it because the way I operate, we've had these challenges. So he and I have been friends longer than me and Anthony.
Like,
so for Anthony and I, there's never really been anybody that can really come into our friendship at this age with our mentality and can break that bond. They've tried to with Morrell and I several times. But we've had people like mentors.
Let's talk about that. Let's hear that. Let's hear that.
So for example, eighth grade, we were all close, and they would
Like go to each other's house, like our mothers know each other, grandmothers.
So people in school saw that. But the principals always saw it too, right? So we were in band, we were in theater, we were doing all these things. So people, they hated it,
football, track,
because we were always doing something great. Right. So they would pull him to the side, Pat trying or so so they'd be like, what? They'd be like, what? So it would start, but our principal or our mentor would pull us in, like, look, y'all got something special. Don't let these outside people put stuff in your ear, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to break your bond.
That's why we need more men in the school.
Yeah. So those type of things really solidify and let us know. But then also our foundation, as we're talking about with God, we went to church together. We played choirs together. We danced together. You really, when I hear something about him, you can't tell me anything about these two, because I know them too.
Right. I know them too.
There's too much. I spent too much time with these dudes. Right. When I first got here, hey, you still in town? Yeah, let's go eat. Then there's, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to come to DC. This is where you need to be.
Okay, I want to get that backstory later, because I do want to know how y'all ended up here.
Because he moved in the gutter when he first got here, and I was just like, "Oh, where you at? Slim,
get out of there!
No, where you at?
Get out of there!
I'm from the streets. I was from the streets back. Look, no, I knew from the streets.
He said I knew.
Head around
Look, he lived in the old neighborhood when he first got there. Old neighborhood. Yeah.
Oh man, so I love this conversation that we having, y'all. So when we talk about the weeds, the other thing that you said was that we always just kind of come together, no matter what it is. And Nehemiah chapter 2, when he's rebuilding this wall, he says, like, let's do it together. He calls everybody in and they're helping him build this wall. And I think that's really important. When we stick together, we can weed out every single thing, because teamwork makes the dream work, right? And I think y'all are a solid team here.
Yeah, life does a thing too, so when you talk about weeds, sometimes the situations, where you've experienced a passing of a parent, and that kind of pulls people away. Or sometimes he gets heavy on us. So he has kids that he's dealing with in a situation, if I may share, midst of a divorce. These things pull you. And so mentally or emotionally, you might not be available. Right, and so sometimes you gotta reach out to your brother and be like, bro, you okay? And it's okay in this space. Most men can't say, well, I'm hurting or I'm bothered or I'm not right. Luckily, they can kind of tell, like, bro, what's going on with you? I ain't talked to you in a couple of days. Or I don't celebrate myself. They're like, what you doing for your birthday? I'm like, nothing. No, you gonna do something. You know what I mean? It's that. I appreciate them for that. So you're not alone. So that's sometimes the weeds of life.
Yeah. I love it. The team actually cutting, slicing through the weeds.
Absolutely.
Right?
For you when you can't do it yourself.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So talking about teams, y'all, let's play this game right quick.
Come on, segue again. If you hadn't subscribed to Rose, Rocks, Weeds, and Soil, you better do it now.
You have 4 cards in your hand. I'm going to fire out scenarios. You don't have to comment. You don't have to explain if you don't want to. But I want you to pick a card when I read the scenario.
Gotcha.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Got it?
Yep.
All right. Fade and faith. Fight and faith.
Fight.
You have forgive. When we say fade and faith, fade is like ghosting somebody, right? Except you're going to do it in faith, all right? And fighting is not physical fighting, y'all. We are going to fight in faith, meaning we're going to confront the issue and have a discussion. And if we got throw hands, then we might, but that's not what we're trying to do.
Open fist.
All right, here we go. Rapid fire, okay? He makes a joke or clowns something about your partner's appearance. Fade, fellowship, fade. Okay, fade and faith. I like that. Yes. He shares an embarrassing detail about you or a picture of you on social media. Embarrassing. And speaking of which, Anthony, I found this picture.
Oh, no. No.
Share it?
There's the word anger. Yeah, man, I'm trying to make sure I say the word.
We'll fight first. We'll fight first, though. We'll fight in faith.
All right, he shares confidential information that you've entrusted.
Well, we can't do that.
That's the problem.
He doesn't show up to support you at important family events. Forgive. Fight and faith, forgive. Listen, if I invite any one of y'all to my daddy's birthday party and y'all don't come, it's a wrap. Like, it's a problem.
So you fighting?
You fighting?
Yeah, we
Oh, you gonna catch a fade?
If I actually invite you to a family function, now if you can't come, then you can't come because you're telling me the minute that I invite
You saying you just don't show up?
Yeah, I'm talking about you don't show up.
Listen, you got what over there?
I'm like, you okay? You
No.
you like,
Okay. I'm over a family function, and I'm over there by myself. I don't know the family. Don't know them.
He makes a life decision without conferring with you, or at least telling you right away. You have a life decision you're going to make. Maybe you're going to get married. Maybe you're going to move somewhere, but you don't tell them. Is that, like, how do you feel about that? Fellowship?
yeah.
Fellowship.
I'm a trusted judgment, but you gotta talk to me about it.
Yeah, or you get sued for tuxedo.
See, it must be something else.
Yo.
He apologizes but doesn't follow through on making amends.
He gonna talk. He like to talk. Everything in the debate. I ain't got time to talk. You my dude. I'm like, look.
You had good reasons.
That's Ralph Tresvant.
No, not at all.
Okay, let's.
You ain't gonna just do something. You still talking, right? You still talking.
We gotta talk about it.
It's sensitive.
He shows interest in a woman that you once dated.
Who cares about that?
Fade in, fade. He cares about that.
I mean, you have her.
That already happened.
So it's a rule.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
it's
get
a
a
rule.
real code.
Real cool.
Yeah, bro code for
If it has went over a certain threshold,
yeah.
if it went over a certain threshold, because I don't want to be up there looking at you and God and knowing in the back of my mind my boy has
been there.
no. So no.
So that's a
So what's the
conversation.
threshold, though? I mean, that they actually did something, or is it a time frame, or?
Might be a little bit of both.
It might be a little bit of both,
think it's-
depending on how serious the relationship
Yeah, I think it's more.
was.
If you was in love with this, if you was in love with this person, she's off limits.
Yeah, you can't-
But that's already happened.
All
It's
right,
different
guys,
events that we
just so
went
you
through.
know, I'm off limits.
She put that right on.
Episode is over. And so there, we're gonna fade fellowship and forgive.
Why y'all so silent, though?
That's what already happened. So there's been situations where we've been out and there's things that happen. And,
Don't be
and
trying to flip.
One of my guys have come to me,
Okay.
guys on this couch, have
Okay.
come to me and was like, yo, is it okay
Yeah.
to deal with Shorty? I was like, have your way, brother. Like that's
Have your way.
if you like it, I love it.
Appreciate you.
All right, he turns away from God indefinitely.
We can just gonna have a conversation.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
I'm gonna forgive. Yeah, because you don't know. You gotta understand where he is.
Every walk is different.
You gotta know when to have that conversation. Because if you have it at the wrong time, you're just gonna push him away.
That's true.
So you didn't say what his belief is. Was it Christianity? Was it Islam?
Yeah,
Was he
I just-
believing? So
I just said
away
that.
from God. We just just have a conversation.
And maybe the walk is different, right? Like he might be a babe in Christ, even though we've all loved God. He might be a babe. He might not know the word as I know the word, or the way he believes it or seen it in his experiences. He might not be able to relate as much to his experience to use the word as I have. So it's all a temperature.
Or whatever happened took his faith and gotten weakened. You know what I mean? In that situation. Sometimes we get weak in that walk. You know what I mean? I know for sometimes, you know what I mean? God seems like he's going further and further away. So sometimes you gotta hold him to the word.
Because depending on what it is, he gonna let you. You gotta see it through, right? So it might be real tough. The time might take a year or two, and you in there fighting. You in the weeds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? You in the
For
weeds.
sure.
So we gotta let you. We can't just pull you out because nine times out of 10 you're gonna go back in.
Right. If it's one of us, we're gonna always be around. And it might not even start the conversation, but the fact that we fellowshipping together, God is always in the midst when two or more gather. So we got three out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we are going to get into the good soil, but before we do that, you just said something, fellowshipping together, right?
Yeah.
So what church? Can we give a shout out to all of my RRWS community in the DMV? What church y'all go to?
Oh, he goes to the most bougiest.
Alpha Street Baptist Church, baby. Pastor John Wesley in the building. Alpha Street Baptist
Alpha
Church.
Street, okay.
Absolutely.
Both me and you go to the same church, right?
Of course.
Yeah, we go to First Baptist Church.
Y'all don't go together, though.
No. But at the end of the day, you know, me, because I play drums, I play for different churches. So I'm playing for Harvest Church today, Alex.
And then he goes to
Shout out. And then I used to play for Impact One in Capitol Heights. So it's like I play for different churches.
Glen Arden and Alfred Street. So I'm not a member of a church yet. So I'm still looking.
Come to Alpha Street. I'm trying to. Alpha Street set you straight. The soul together. Pastor John.
But it looks
John
like
Wesley.
you're going to be at First Baptist Church of Martin, though, because that's where your partner is going to be.
If you don't know, now you know.
Make sure I don't have to sue you for a tuxedo either.
You got to be in sweat.
For real. He's like,
So listen, y'all. If y'all didn't already know, you guys have a legacy right here. Like, this is some real good soil, right? What are y'all giving back to the youth? How are y'all putting this legacy out there, letting them know how to do what y'all did for the last 30 years?
There's a few things that we do,
go
right?
from your house first.
So I have 4 boys.
Yes.
So my foundation is just from there. You know what I'm saying? I'm teaching them the way they should be led into God. You know what I'm saying? I think for us, we were taught from a different regime on the way to think, the way to handle God, the way to think about God, the way to think about women, how to approach your life as a man. It's reference to your emotions, how to show them, things of that nature. So I also coach, and I bring these young men or these brothers to speak to my sons. So when I have an issue, I like, yo, we got to, you know, when they got older, say, for example, my son that plays college football, before he left, I let them talk to him.
Yeah.
So he can have a different perspective from different black men that are in different places. So from mentorship, you know, he and I are in a fraternity. We're trying to get the other one in there too.
Do we need to shout out the fraternity?
Absolutely. There's only one real fraternity.
He's the only one.
Established in 1911.
Back, so I don't know which one it is. I'm not even going to sit here.
What are the divine colors that Jesus wear?
What color would the robe be? Say it.
Okay, so they are Omega.
There it is.
The amazing thing is, you guys are the third set of guys, or the third set I had on Omega.
Why we wasn't the first?
You see the foundation though, right? God, purple, Omega Psi Phi, the foundation. Yeah.
So, but no, you did say that iron sharpens iron, and I do appreciate that. So what is the one thing that your sons are doing to honor the legacy?
They do a lot. They mentor other young people.
I love it. I'm just trying to see the distribution. Just the
they
fun.
speak. They've spoken to a lot of young people about how they own the company.
Okay.
So that company blessed other people. So they've hired other young guys. They've hired other young women. So in those teachings, being able to be 9, 12 when they started 13, that gave them that legacy. That gave them the arm and the foundation to be able to actually bring other people and see how we operate as a family unit.
But as for me, I'm an educator, actually. Yes, I've been teaching for, really? Look at that. And I've been teaching for about 25 years.
Okay. I stopped at 15.
You start? I still go. I still got it. I've been teaching for a long time in 2 states.
Just now said that we definitely need more men. They're not African American men, of course.
Yeah.
African American men.
I try to inspire kids to see education differently. For a long time, kids don't see education as being cool. They want to be a thug. I'm like, are you serious? And I have the blessing to have been on both sides of education, right? Education early on was not the thing for me, right? And so I became what I didn't have. And so I became mentor for kids as well as a teacher and a motivator, inspirer, all those things. And so now I have kids that I've taught. Now they've become teachers as well. That's because of you that I teach. And so it's kind of a beautiful thing.
I'm going to make a guess. Are you an English teacher?
Absolutely.
Look at God.
I do that.
I know the way he speaks.
The way you speak.
He wasn't a math teacher, that's for sure.
I'm not saying that one, but
No, not at all.
So as for me, it's like that's probably the piece of it that I can probably get better at because I push a lot into my nephews. I try to make sure they understand how to be men. Right now, even with them in college and doing other things and stepping out into this world, it's amazing that they're already as old as they are.
I'm sitting here like you got nephews in college.
I still look at them as little kids, but at the end of the day, they're now in college, and I try to make sure they understand how to move within this world and make sure they take advantage of different things that they have it to go about it this way because you're going to need this later. So I do try to impart certain things into them, but I want to get more into mentorship and coaching football since that was my passion. And I do a lot of teaching kids drums, so I do mentor them that way, and I teach them life things when I'm doing it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I love it. So, guys, what is one thing that you want other guys over 40 to know about this type of relationship that you have, the bond that you guys have built? One thing that you want them to know. Did you raise your hand?
Go ahead.
I can't believe you right now.
He in school, he teacher.
Have it. My turn. A strong support system is needed in the climate of the world, not just with the presidency. How men show up, right, in certain places. We're asked to be a lot for a lot of people, but there is no support system in that. For our families, we have to be certain things. We have to be the rock of the family, but I liken it to pastors who pastor major churches and have all these people come with them with their problems. And the question you would ask, where would they take their problems that they have? If I take on so many things in my life, I'm a father, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a supervisor, I am a provider, I'm all the things. And then when I get heavy, where do I lean? Because everyone leans on me. Where do I go? And this is my support. So if you, as a man, have a support system, you're doing yourself a disservice.
And I think I'm going to piggyback off of that because at the end of the day, you have to have brothers that you can go to and share things in confidence, who's able to actually get you in the right direction, even if you're thinking about it wrong. I lean on brothers for a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. If I'm thinking about something wrong, if I'm dating someone and I said something wrong, I have a crew of people who will sit back and be like, did you have to say it like that? Mm-hmm. Did you have to do this and that? And they correct me. And that's the type of people I choose to have around me. I don't want yes people around me. I always want people who will listen to what I'm saying and say, nah, dog, you're wrong. Like, this is another way you can look at that or go about that.
I think, for me, every man is supposed to be in the image of God. So,
I'm about to preach.
Listen, it's giving me everything I came for.
So when I think about friends and how you build it, you gotta look at how God looks at you and what He prescribes as giving Himself. And these old young men right here share that with me.
What did he say?
Old young man.
Old young men.
Okay,
I think
can we just get these ages out really quickly? Because they want to know.
50.
Everybody's single here. They want to know.
48, 50,
Let's go.
51.
Yeah, so I think it's good when you have people that are like-minded and nothing shakes that, right? Because when you look at, if we're talking about the Bible, we can talk about everything in one city.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And
all the time.
And you can't do that with a lot. And we talked about it earlier. There's a barrier or a boundary around our friendship. You can't shake us. You can't come into our friendship. And one, because we know the word, we know our boys, we know where we come from, we know what we are built on. So those things, again, it's essential to our soul, especially at this age, because you question yourself a lot.
That happens.
Like you question every move.
That does happen.
You know what I'm saying? You question everything that you're doing because the world, social media is saying, hey, you need this to get this. You need this to get this. Oh, if you're not this, you can't get this. If he ain't got this, he can't get you. And you're sitting here like, dang, like I got 3 degrees, but I need something else, or, you know, I'm at this certain financial level, or I might not be at this. What if I don't get to that financial level? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm comfortable where I am.
Yeah.
What if I'm comfortable making $70,000? But we're not gonna.
Right.
We don't do that.
What we gonna?
It's not about money.
Yeah, we're not gonna judge or boast. So you know, those things I think allow us to kind of build the friendship, and that's the foundation and the boundary.
Okay, so I appreciate y'all. I love y'all.
We like you, Tasha.
So grateful that y'all came to take part in my Christ walk, you know, this season of Rose Rocks Season. So
We like what you're doing. It makes sense.
It does.
It's deep. And it's needed.
thank you. Anthony, Morrell, and Pat.
Like, guys, y'all, I swear they don't know this yet, but I really want to produce a podcast for them. I can see it, y'all. I'm gonna have to call it Amped, like Amped for Christ, okay? Like Anthony, Morrell, and Pat. Yes, Amped for Christ. That's it, y'all. You heard it from me. Just let me get one show down, and God willing, y'all, we will not get 5 seasons in before they trying to have them on somebody's network in Jesus' name, okay? I said what I said. Yes, y'all, let's get into it because, man, what a great brotherhood. From the roads that begin in college to the rocks of distance, pride, and life changes. Not to mention the weeds that tried to choke the bond. Man, and now they in this soil where God keeps growing this legacy. This is what it looks like after 40, guys. We heard agreement from Amos 3:3, private grace in Matthew 18:15, and iron was, of course, sharpening iron, okay? Proverbs 27:17. How much fun was that, man? And they are building this legacy together like Nehemiah 2:18 in real life. This is what RRWS is all about, right? Name the weeds, move the rocks, and stay aligned so the next generation inherits strong roots, y'all. We are tilling the soil for kingdom distribution. That is the mission. Yes, mission, just like this week's Kingdom Artist, man, because when we fall down, what we do, we get up. It's always about when we are aligned with God. And each one of these guys is one of them ones, okay? Yo, tell me your brotherhood story. Email me, rrwspodcast@gmail.com, or hit me in the DMs at rrwspodcast on IG. And you already know, rrwspodcast.com. Subscribe, rate, and share this with a brother who needs it, y'all. If you don't have a solid crew yet, or you want to do some rebuilding like Nehemiah, be sure to go to the site, y'all. Grab the free Brotherhood Builder Reflection Guide, y'all. It's going to have a couple scriptures, a couple prompts, and yes, men write too, okay? And a 7-day check-in challenge, yo. It's linked in the show notes and, of course, at rrwspodcast.com. The word of the week is what? Build, okay? Because, bruh, you got to build up your brothers. You got to build up your homies. You got to build up your fam. And ladies, don't slip. You know, we must build up our men, our brothers, and our families for real. We got to speak life over our men, adore our men, and love our men, especially if they single and fine like them, okay? No, seriously though, if you are raising a king alone, find a big brother or mentor who can help build your baby too. I'm not saying you can't do it with you and God alone. I'm just saying that you don't have to, sis. If there's no fam, pray. Read, listen, and obey. He might send you to start in the schools, in the churches, and maybe even your job, or don't get me wrong, but a local precinct. I'm just saying, listen to God and he will guide your steps because we must do better if we really want to be free. And that is our song of the week, y'all. Free by mission. Free on the inside, free on the outside, because whom the Son sets free is free indeed, okay? John 8:36 said it all. I am Natasha Elaine. I love you and I mean it, but you already know God truly loves you way more. So bye, y'all.